Hi everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we're making number 339 Granny Square of our 365 Days of Granny Squares. Today's Granny Square is quite interesting. It is designed by Bonnie and it is called Katie's Bliss. It is in honor of her daughter, Katie, for her engagement way back in 2001 actually. There's a little story about it on her pattern. You can check out the written pattern linked in the description of this video for this square today. The square is so interesting. We are making bullion stitches, as you can see, but we're making them bent over. It is so interesting, and I feel like we've learned so many techniques this year, but my goodness, there are so many stitches that we haven't even learned yet, and this is a technique of a bullion stitch, but we're bending it to make these nice little loops. It looks like a little flower. It is so pretty. We are also working with single crochets, half double crochets, and double crochets in this pattern today. We're even making picot stitches in this corners up here and making this really lovely square. I ended one round early today. We're doing 8 rounds in the square today, but you can go on to making round 9. It's just a very simple single crochet round, but I ended it on round 8. And in this square, I'm using 4 different colors. You can use any colors you want, any yarn you want, any scrap yarns that you have lying around. You're not going to need a whole lot today. I'm using Red Heart Super Saver yarns. I think this one is actually a With Love yarn, but this is Red Heart yarns, and this is just a 10 ply size 4 worsted weight medium yarn. You can use any Aran yarn, any double knitting yarn, any worsted weight yarn, any scraps you've got. And then in this square I am using an H size crochet hook, which is 5mm, to demonstrate today, but in Bonnie's pattern it does recommend using a size F hook for your square, but with the H size hook the square turned out pretty nice. It actually turned out to be about 7 inches for me, which is about 18 centimeters. So you can make yours using a smaller hook if you want to make your square smaller, but I'm going to demonstrate with that H hook, which is 5mm. You're also going to need a yarn needle and a scissor just to cut your yarn and sew in your ends if you're changing color as often as I do. Now, before we begin making this square, I do want to mention there are links in the description of this video. So like I said, there is a link to Bonnie's pattern for Katie's Bliss. Make sure to follow along with that pattern. It's written very nicely, and there's a photo of her square in there as well. And then also there's a link to my Facebook and Instagram, so I would absolutely love if you shared your photo today. Let me know what colors you are choosing, and if you enjoyed making these bent bullion stitches. I would absolutely like to see and hear your opinion about them. So join the conversation on Facebook, and on Instagram be sure to hashtag 365 Days of Granny Squares and hashtag YARNutopia so I can see your beautiful squares today. And then also you can Snapchat me. I am YARNutopia on Snapchat, so make sure you follow me there. And before we begin, I have to say a big thank you to my dad, Fuad, Azmat, for taking the time to make this video with us. He's our videographer, editor, and photographer for this video, so make sure you subscribe to our channel so you can get that update on when he posts our next video. So now let's begin and make number 339 Granny Square. Let's start out with a slip knot, so put your short end over the long end, then fold this down and pull that through and pull tight. Insert your hook and we can begin. So let's start out by chaining 4, so yarn over and pull through 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then go all the way to the first chain way over here, go in for a slip stitch to form a ring. So yarn over and pull through and pull through. And there you have a ring. If you know how to start with the adjustable ring, you can start that way, but we're going to go right on to round 1, and we're going to chain up 1, so yarn over and pull through, and then we're going to put 16 single crochets into this ring. So go into the ring, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, that's a single crochet, so you have to put 16 of those in there. So go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. I won't make you watch me do all 16, so just make 16 single crochets into the ring just like this, and then we'll go right on to round 2. Once you have 16 single crochets into the ring, this is what it should look like. It might get a little tight for you, but we can manage to get all 16 in there. And what you need to do is then count back 16 and go into the very first single crochet. Make sure you have 16 stitches. And we're going to make a slip stitch. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and through to close that round. So now going on to round 2, if you want to, you can fasten off here, start in any stitch around if you're changing color. I'm not going to change color though. I am going to turn my work around just like this. And then we are going to work on this side of our work and we are going to chain up 3. So yarn over and pull through 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and now we're going to work into this stitch right here. Okay, if you can see that right there is the stitch. We are going to make a bullion stitch in there. Now, in the written pattern, the bullion stitch, you wrap your yarn 15 times around your hook. You can wrap 8 times if you want to. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And then we're going to go into that stitch right there. Okay, going in, then yarn over and pull through. Okay, you can kind of pull that up just a little bit. And then yarn over and pull through all of the loops on your hook. Okay, it is going to be a little finagly, a little difficult, but if you use this hand kind of like this to kind of pull the loops off your hook, it gets easier with time and practice. And we've been doing quite a few bullion stitches lately, so I think that this is good practice for us. Okay, so pull through all of those loops just like that. And then what we're going to do is actually go down into the next stitch, so we're not even chaining anything. We're just going to go into this next stitch right here, and we're going to slip stitch in there. So go in, and then yarn over, and pull through, and pull through. Okay, and that kind of bends it over, okay? And you will see that this chain 3 here comes across this side. For the next round, we are going to turn our work around so that these bullion stitches, if you turn it around, you can see that they bend over, okay? But we're going to be working in the chain 3 space there. Okay, so I'll show you again. What we need to do next is actually go into the next stitch right here and single crochet in there. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, and this is going to look a little weird at first, but I promise it'll look better in the next round. So now what we're going to do is chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to bullion stitch in the same stitch that we just single crocheted into. So yarn over 15 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Like I said though, you could wrap 18 times, or I'm sorry, 18 times, yeah, right. You're probably like, that is crazy. You can wrap 8 times and be okay with your bullion stitches. Go into that same stitch that we just single crocheted in right here. Go into that stitch, then yarn over and pull through. Okay, you can pull up just a hair, and then yarn over and pull through all of the loops on your hook. Okay, depending if you wrapped 8 times or the 15 times that I wrapped, or even 18 times if you're feeling, you know, generous. But just use this other hand to kind of guide that yarn over your hook. Just like this. Okay, and when you do more and more bullion stitches, it gets faster and a little easier. Okay, then what we're going to do is slip stitch into the next stitch right here. So go into this next stitch, okay, yarn over and pull through the loop on your hook. Okay, and then you want to make sure that this chain 3 space is behind or in front of this bullion stitch. In the next round, it will be considered behind the bullion stitch because we're going to turn our work around. And these bullion stitches have to be kind of looped around like this. Okay, it looks really good so far. That's an interesting way to design this. So now we're going to repeat what we did. So single crochet in the next stitch, then chain 3, and then bullion stitch in the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then we're going to make our bullion stitch in here, and then slip stitch into the next stitch, and then single crochet into the next. So if you need to rewind this to see what I did for the bullion stitches, we're just repeating this around. So you should have 8 bullion stitches in total, 8 chain 3 spaces in total. So I will meet you up at the end of this round. We'll go on to the next round together. Alright, so when you come back around, this is what your piece should look like. You can see the chain 3 spaces, and you can't really see your bullion stitches unless you turn it around, and look at how fabulous that looks. So when we're going to close this round, round 2 is being closed by we slip stitched into that last stitch there, okay? It was kind of difficult for me to see the last stitch, but you want to make sure you end with that slip stitch in that last stitch, and then go into the chain 3 space here and slip stitch into there. So go into that chain 3 there, go in, yarn over, pull through, and through. And this next round we're actually starting in that chain 3 space, so if you wanted to just go on to round 3, you can chain up 5 and go on to round 3 with me. But I'm actually going to chain 1 here, cut my yarn, pull it through, and pull it tight. Okay, I'm going to change color here. We're going to turn this around so you can see this, and you want to make sure your bullion stitches are kind of leaning to the side. Kind of like that. Okay, that looks really cool. Awesome. So now this next round, we are going to actually work in the chain 3 spaces behind our bullion stitches. You could do this round by looking at your bullion stitches, or I'm sorry, looking on the other side of your work, working in the chain 3 spaces like this, or you can work on it this side. It really does not matter which side you're working on. It's all the same. It'll look the same in the end anyway. So I'm gonna work at looking at my bullion stitches like this, okay? And I'm gonna go into the chain 3 space behind the bullion stitch right there, hooking on a new yarn, pulling that through. We're gonna chain up 5. So yarn over and pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And what that counts as is the first 3 chains count as our first double crochet, and the next 2 chains counts as our chain 2 space of our V stitch. And we're going to make a double crochet into this chain 3 space to make our V stitch. So yarn over, go into that chain 3 space, yarn over and pull through, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So now it looks like a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet in there. Then we're going to hop into the next chain 3 space right here, behind this bullion stitch, and we're going to put a double crochet, then chain 2, and then another double crochet in there. Okay? And we're just going to repeat that all the way around then. So no chaining in between these. We're just going to go into the chain 3 space, put a double crochet, then chain 2, and then put another double crochet in there. Okay, but then don't chain anything, just hop into the next chain 3 space and put a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet. So I'm going to do that all the way around, and then I'll meet you up for round 4. When you come back around, make sure to slip stitch to the third chain of your beginning chain 5 here. So 1, 2, 3, the third chain right here. We're going to go into that, and then yarn over and pull through and pull through. Now this next round, if you are changing color, you can fasten off here and start in any chain 2 space. I'm not going to change color yet. I'm just going to slip stitch into this chain 2 space here, and then I'm going to chain up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that, again, just like the last round, counts as our first double crochet and chain 2 space. And now in the same space, we are going to put a double crochet. So yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're going to put another double crochet into there as well. just like that. So now it looks like double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Okay, then we're gonna hop into the next space here. Let's see here. This is round 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Sorry. It says a chain 3 space, but it's a chain 2 space. So we're going to hop into the chain 2 space here and put a double crochet, chain 2, another double crochet, chain 2, and another double crochet. Okay, just like that. And we're going to work that repeat all the way around. So hop into the next chain 2 space, put a double crochet, chain 2, another double crochet, chain 2, and another double crochet. And then hop into the next chain 2 space and repeat. So just do that all the way around, and then I will meet you up for round 5. Alright, finishing this round, we have to slip stitch to the 3rd chain of our beginning chain 5, just like the last round. So I'm just going to go into the 3rd chain, 1, 2, 3, going in, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. Now, if you're not changing color, you're going to go down in between these groupings. You can see this grouping here, the 3 double crochets in there, and then there's a space which has these 2 stitches, and then this grouping here is also 3 double crochets, right? So we're going to start in between those groupings where we slip stitch. So I'm going to go down into here, and we're going to slip stitch, or I guess chain 1, and then go down in there, and you can make a single crochet just like that, okay? And that's where we're starting. If you are changing color like me, don't do any of that, just fasten off here. So chain 1, cut your yarn, pull it through, pull tight, and like I said, you can see here, I'll show you right over here, you can see this grouping of 3 double crochets here, and then this grouping of 3 double crochets here. We're going to start in between them, okay? So you can see right in there, we're going to start in between them. And I'll just start where we fastened off. So right here, in between them, in this gap, right here, it's not even a chain space, in a no chain space, just between the stitches here. We're going to hook on a new yarn, pull that through, and then chain 1 and single crochet in there. So go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, skip 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and go into this gap here and put a single crochet. Okay, and just repeat that around. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, skip 3 double crochets and single crochet into this gap here. Okay, I'm just going to repeat that around, and then I'll meet you up for the next round. When you finish this round, chain your last 5 and then slip stitch to the beginning single crochet right in here. Go in, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. Now, if you're changing color, you can fasten off here and start in any chain 5 space. I'm just going to go into this chain 5 space and slip stitch in there, and then chain up 1. And now, in each chain 5 space, we are going to put 7 single crochets. So go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, then hop to the next chain 5 space and put 7 single crochets in there. And just do that all the way around, and then I will meet you up for the next round. Alright, when you come back around, slip stitch to the first single crochet right here. Okay, so not this slip stitch or not this chain up 1, but actually into the single crochet, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. Alright, going on to the next round. This round is kind of tricky. We are going to be making more of a square shape now. So what we need to do is chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Also, if you want to, you could change color. Just start in a first single crochet of any 7 single crochet grouping. So I'm just going to start right here. So chain 5, again, that counts as our first double crochet and chain 2 space. And in the same stitch, let's see here, double crochet into the same stitch. So yarn over, go into the same stitch, this first stitch here, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, Then we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we are going to slip stitch into the 4th chain from the hook. So the loop on the hook doesn't count, so count 1, 2, 3, and 4 into that chain right there. We're going to go in, then yarn over and pull through, and pull through. Okay, and that is considered a picot. Okay, we're going to be working in the picot stitch actually in the next round. Now we're going to chain 1 and then double crochet into the same stitch. So yarn over, go down into that same stitch. Okay, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, then we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're going to double crochet into the same stitch. So yarn over, go back in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, the written pattern actually explains this very well, and you can see that that is more of a corner stitching there. A little picot on top. Looks good. Now we are going to chain 1. We're going to skip this next stitch right here, and we're going to double crochet into the next stitch. So yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Okay? Then we're going to chain 1 and skip the next stitch, and then we're going to half double crochet into the next stitch. So yarn over, skip that one, go into this one right here, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Then we're going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, then chain 1, skip the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, and then chain 1, skip the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch. Okay, so there should be 4 half double crochets in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4 with a chain 1 in between each one of those. And then we're going to chain 1. We're going to skip the next stitch and we're going to double crochet into the next stitch. So yarn over, skip this one, go in here, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Then we are going to, let's see here, chain 1, skip the next stitch, and now we're going to work our corner stitches in the next stitch. So we are going to follow along here, skip this one, so double crochet into this next stitch, okay, then chain 2 and double crochet back into that same stitch, then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, slip stitch into the 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, right in here, go in, yarn over and pull through, okay, then chain 1, and then double crochet back into that same stitch, then chain 2, and then double crochet back into that same stitch. Okay, and there's the corner. Very interesting. Then we're going to chain 1 and repeat what we did. So skip this next stitch, double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip the next, half double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip the next, half double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip the next, half double crochet into the next. Make sure you have 4 half double crochets in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, then chain 1, skip the next stitch and double crochet into the next, then chain 1, skip the next stitch and make your corner in the next stitch. So it's double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 5, slip stitch into the 4th chain from the hook, then chain 1, double crochet back down into that stitch, chain 2, and double crochet into that same stitch. And then just repeat what we've been doing. So if you need to, rewind this to see what I was doing on the sides and in the corners, but we just have basically 1 corner but 2 sides left. So I'm just going to repeat that. If you need to, you can also follow along with the written pattern. It's written very, very clearly. And then I'll just meet you up at the end of this round. When you're finished with this round, make sure to chain 1, skip that last stitch, and then slip stitch to the beginning, the third chain of your beginning chain 5 here. 1, 2, 3, right into that chain, go in, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. Now, regardless if you're changing color or not, we're going to fasten off here. So chain 1, cut your yarn, pull it through, and pull tight. Going on to round 8, we are going to start in a chain 4 space of the corner here of this picot. Right in this corner here, we're going to go into there. I'm going to grab one last color here. You can use the same color or a different color, totally up to you. But I'm going to hook that on there, pull it through, and then we're going to chain up 1. And in this chain 4 space of this corner picot here, we are going to put 3 single crochets in there. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So that's 1, this is 2, and 3. Okay, and that's going to be in each of the picots. We're going to put 3 single crochets in each of the picot stitches. And now what we're going to do is work 2 double crochets in between these double crochets here. So don't work anything into this space here underneath the picot. We're going to skip this double crochet, and in this chain 2 space here, we're going to work 2 double crochets. So yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So 1 and 2. Okay, and then in each of these chain 1 spaces across here, 2 double crochets in each one. So 1 and 2. Next one right here, 1 and 2. Next one here, 1 and 2. Next one. Okay, we're just working double crochets, just like that. 2 of them in each of the chain 1 spaces here. Whoops, 1 and 2. So there should be 18 double crochets in total on the side, and I'll count them once I get to the side here, to this next corner. 1 and 2. Make sure to work 2 in this chain 2 space, but do not work in this space here of the corner where the picot is worked in. So we're going to count here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So make sure you have 18 double crochets across the side, and then in the picot here, in this chain 4 space, you're going to have to manipulate it to open it up a little bit, and then you're going to put 3 single crochets in there. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're just going to repeat what we did. So in this next chain 2 space here, we're going to put 2 double crochets. Then in each of the chain 1 spaces, we're putting 2 double crochets, and there's also a chain 2 space before this corner here. We're going to put 2 double crochets in there. And then in the corner picot, the chain 4 space of the picot stitch, we are going to put 3 single crochets in there. So just do that all the way around. Oops, make sure you only put 2 double crochets in there. I got carried away. So we have to have 18 double crochets on each side, and then 3 single crochets in the corners. So do that all the way around, and then I'll meet you up at the end of this round. When you come back around, be sure to slip stitch to the first single crochet of this round right in here. Go in, yarn over, and pull through and through. And at this point, if you want to go on to round 9, it's just a simple single crochet round. You can totally do that. Just putting 3 single crochets in the middle single crochet of the corner, and then just putting 1 single crochet in the 20 single crochets on the side, or 20 stitches on the side, sorry. It's just an easy, simple single crochet round, but I'm actually going to fasten off here and be done with this square. So I chained 1, cut that, pull it through, and pulled it tight, and now I'm going to weave in my ends and just be done with number 339 granny square. I have to say a huge thank you to Bonnie for allowing us to use some of her patterns in this project. She just has really fabulous designs, and if you have a chance, make sure to check out her Ravelry and her website to get more free patterns and really pretty designs. So but she uses a lot of bullion stitches, and I absolutely love them. Practicing them a lot this year has helped me gain confidence in making more of these. So I really like the bullion stitch. At first I was hating it, but actually it turns out really lovely. So big thank you to her for designing this. Big thank you to you for watching every single day, and I will see you tomorrow. Happy hooking!